And we're back with part 2 of our conversation around artificial intelligence. I'm Kevin Oldham. I've got Jose Bolaños here. Last week, we talked a lot about how AI is, first of all, our theories on AI, like where it could go. But moreover, we looked at it from kind of a macro level on like with societal impact. And that can be kind of scary. And so we want to dive into more of the human aspect on like things that people can do in a more uncertain and a VUCA world to prepare for maybe changes in what they do from a professional perspective, or maybe just changes overall in society and how they can manage those and what we're supposed to do with this stuff as humans. So, hey, Jose, welcome.
What up?
What up right now is me. I'm excited. I'm excited about this conversation.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How so? Why so? How so?
Well, we know that we live in a VUCA world, which stands for volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And I don't think that there's another thing right now that we could talk about that could be more VUCA than artificial intelligence. It's volatile as hell. Nobody knows what's happening. It is uncertain. It's very uncertain what the future looks like. It's super complex. It is so complex, it's not even funny. And sure as shit, it's ambiguous. I don't think there's another thing that we could talk about right now that's more VUCA than AI and its impact on just the people, the listeners, how they're feeling today. But my guess is if we brought all 37 of our listeners in, all 37 of them, nobody's laughing besides me. 30, it's a lot. It's a huge amount of listeners. That's just downloads. Listeners? It doesn't guarantee that anybody's actually listening, believe it or not. Do you know that?
That's
like
awesome.
When I send you those statistics, one of those downloads is me.
That's our army in the woods.
You saw the show 100, right? Where there was 100 gladiators. You never saw that movie? No. Oh, dude, you got to watch 100. It's so good. It's older, but it's about these. What was the movie? 100 movie, not 100 movies. 100 the movie. So it came out in it was 300. Okay, so we need 300. We don't need 100. We need 300.
Did you ever see 300? I've seen 300, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen 100.
So,
I've seen 300.
That would have been a small group. But yeah, these Spartans were kicking ass, and there were only 300 of them. Of
course.
So we just need like a few more listeners.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this, man. I don't know about you. When I think about AI, or when I come in and I sit down at my tools, let's use that as an example. Maybe I hop into Canva to design something. And you see that little sparkle, the little AI thing, a little sparkle. It's becoming our symbol for AI. It gives me a little bit of anxiety. I'm like, oh, hold on. I've already mastered this tool. Like, I feel like I have. I feel like I'm smart with it. And now all of a sudden, you got this little button in here, this little button that's going to, maybe take away my original creative thought, or maybe it's going to accelerate it. And it makes me, it gives me pause. It just gives me pause. I don't know how else to put it. It makes me feel uncertain. It makes me feel it's ambiguous as to whether or not I should continue to try to create my own original work, or if I should hit a little button and try to, in my opinion, accelerate the process.
Truth is, Kevin? You know what the truth is?
What?
We're getting old.
No.
Yes, it is.
That's
the truth. The truth is we're getting old. Truth is that my daughter, my son, are going to look at that button and press it like there's no tomorrow without hesitating. What's happening is that the world is changing in front of our eyes, and we are.
So we lost you for a second there. You said your daughter will use your. You went quiet for about 10 seconds. You said the truth is my daughter, and then you went quiet. What'd you say after that?
My daughter will press that button. Will use that button and use those mechanisms like if it's the most normal thing. It's like using the toaster, using the microwave, using the fridge. And the truth is that we are the resisting humans that are on the verge of adopting or not adopting. But in the end, everybody's going to adopt it. And we're just in the middle of it. We're just in between two technologies. Just like when the internet came up, my grandma didn't adopt the internet. She adopted the TV. No, my grandma never used the internet. But she used the TV, and I think, again, going back to that other, this is what's driving us. It's not gonna stop. It's not gonna make a difference. Our concerns are not gonna be, even if the guy who's developing, what's his name, Sam Altman, Elon Musk, or any of these guys suddenly said, you know what, we got to stop this. I'm no longer playing along. There's going to be another idiot right behind them saying, okay, bye.
No, you're right.
Taking over.
You're right.
Yeah, just like in Wall Street.
You're right.
When somebody touches their heart and says, oh my God, I can't be a Wall Street banker. This is bad. Okay, go home. We got it. We'll take it from here. We have enough guys willing to play along. But at a personal level, I read a quote that said, and I think it was Elon Musk, that we are being, Instagram or social media. It's a dopamine maximizing AI driven platform. AI is the one that's doing how do I maximize the dopamine consumption of this human? And how do I come up with new algorithms and new ways to make this human want more? It's not even driven by humans anymore. So any interaction with technology, you're in it.
You're in it.
You're in it.
So if we're in it, we're already in it. We're in it. Let's say it is causing somebody to freak out, lose their shit. Maybe it's a business owner. Let's say it's a business owner who's like, man, maybe they're 10 years older than us. They really don't want to adapt. Like knocking on 55, 60's door and like, man, I'm about done with this whole, business thing. Well, still it's going to impact your personal life. It's not like you can hide from it. So what are ways that if people are feeling uncertain or it's causing anxiety, that, tools and resources that we have available that like we could share with them? So like, let's just kind of talk through it. Because we can't take for granted that this might be somebody's first time that they've ever listened to us, right? So what are the things that we can control, that you train your students that they can control in the face of VUCA?
I think the solution is being present, is being disconnected, is being connected to the breath, being mindful. I'm starting to call my time without my phone. In Spanish, we have a concept called tiempos fuertes, which is strong time. It's the only solution that I found. I consume my phone all day. I consume hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I work on my phone. I hustle on my phone. I interact on my phone. I make money on my phone. I was at the gym. I made a sale. I'm constantly selling to people on my phone for booking workshops, and so my phone is my tool to work. My solution is having strong moments without any technology around me. So I went to
balance. Balance to a certain degree.
It's still not balanced, but I'm starting to measure the quality of my day.
Yeah.
Look, I'm starting to measure the quality of my day by how many of these strong moments that I have. So I went to the gym today. I went without my phone. And so today I'm going to the gym with an earplug.
Hold on. How does Instagram know you worked out if you went without your phone?
It doesn't know.
Oh my gosh, Jose.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
I am so proud of you.
burn calories.
I'm proud of you. You're an influencer. You were a big time regional influencer in Central America with Columbia, the outdoor company, and yet you went to a gym without your phone, dude, you might be the only influencer who went to the gym without their phone. Congratulations, my friend.
I did an ice bath the other day without my phone.
Well, you better do an ice bath without your phone or else it'll destroy it.
I mean, documenting it.
Oh, yeah. I never document mine. You know what's funny is every once in a while I'll take a picture of it, but never, every once in a while I'll post one, but I just am past it. It's almost like there's so many people posting on social that I don't want to see. Like I was doing it before people were posting on social, so I don't want to feel like I'm a trendy person.
Yeah. So
because of you, my friend.
Those strong moments. And you want to get spiritual?
Yeah, man.
Being connected keeps you from God. Whenever I disconnect from my phone,
1,000,000%,
I feel God's presence. Whenever I'm on my phone, I'm ignoring God's presence. So these strong moments are moments with my higher power. So I went to eat lunch on Sunday with my kids. I left my phone. And it's funny because they give you the barcode, whatever that thing is called, at the restaurant for the menu. They don't even give you a menu anymore.
Oh, the QR code, and you couldn't scan it.
I was like, dude, bring me a menu. They're like, no, but that's what you... Dude, I don't have a phone. Bring me a menu. So,
did they have one for you?
Yeah.
Did they have a paper menu for you? Yeah.
I'm going to be my grandmother, bro. I've already decided that I'm going to be my grandma. I haven't downloaded any ChatGPT. I haven't downloaded any AI. I haven't used any AI. I mean, people say you use it if you use Instagram. I haven't used any AI apps or downloaded or incorporated them or generated any content. And I will not do it. I'm done. Like, I don't care. My grandma, when I saw my grandma, I admired her life. I admired her being completely oblivious to all the shit that we were doing with phones. She'd just be like, I don't get it.
That sounds a lot. That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, I'm like, my grandma. That's who I want to be. I want to be the old guy that doesn't get caught up.
Well, you do that. The reality is most of our listeners, I think, are not going to do that. Probably because, that may not work out for a lot of people.
I'll be here for them. Whenever they want to take a break and have a deep conversation with a human, they can reach out to me.
Yeah. Beautiful. So my perspective is I've been using these tools since about a year before ChatGPT came out. We were using it's changed names. So it used to be called Jarvis, and then it had to be changed to Jasper. And Jarvis's promise when we met Jarvis was that Jarvis wasn't even able to write a blog post back when we first started using Jarvis. Actually, he started being able to do it, and we had to start feeding it. It was really kind of complicated. But it had all these little widgets in it, like a review responder, or, hey, we can create a description for you for a Facebook ad. So general little widgets. And you would put them in there, and we're like, wow, this is really cool. But it was never to a level where it could replace a writer, like somebody who was like writing copy, right? And then we got to a point where you could start doing that, and we started making some decisions and using technology in our agency to help us deliver better, faster results for our clients. And I use these things, and I see them, and I do have ChatGPT in my bookmarks bar, so it's one of my frequently used tools. And I even have the tab open right now because you and I were hopping on, and I was like, I wanted to come up with like an idea to kind of frame our conversation around AI, and you and I just decided to wing it like we always do. But what I thought was, as I go back and I look at my history in ChatGPT, a lot of it has been laziness.
Convention. It's always about. Lazy. It's always been about convenience.
Yeah, it's not been designed to make me more. And this is where I think we're screwed. This is just where I think we're screwed. Could be wrong. Talk about increasing productivity. Or you could also talk about it, just another way of saying that is making us potentially more lazy in creating our own original works. Paul Graham's essay around how to do great work, nowhere in it does it say, hey, just plug this into a text generator or an image generator or a video generator. And there's always going to be a devil's advocate who says, hey, things like, generative AI is based on the inputs, the prompts that you put in there, the quality of that, and that becomes the work or whatever. I'm like, nah, man, if I'm sitting there with Leonardo da Vinci, the work is his sketches and the original thought that went behind them. And actually the sketches are the documentation of his thoughts, right? And he's done some amazing inventions. And as I use these tools, and I said this in our last episode, I could easily see somebody like myself convincing myself that I'm being more productive and using these tools to be more lazy and not instill my original thoughts. And so for somebody who's wired the way that I am, I almost approach these things like I would any other substance that could be, or something that could be addictive and or harmful for me. Like I'm already starting to see how Kevin Oldham over the course of the near future could use these things, frankly, to make myself less intelligent. And that scares me as a human, like losing my agency, my intelligence, my brain. And as somebody who had long COVID, back when I had long COVID back in 2021, and that literally scared the living crap out of me because I felt like I lost my mental edge, my brain, my ability to think, to a point where I started journaling because I thought that this was like a permanent thing for me as a person, that I had lost some of my memory. And it came back over time. But I could also see that being where if I let AI be a huge part of my original thought process, I could see that becoming almost a crutch. It was sabotage. Speaking of sabotage, that video was amazing. Beastie Boys video. Did you ever see it? Yeah. Sabotage, where they're all dressed up like undercover agent.
Beastie Boys is my number one band history, best band, bar none, best band ever.
Dude, so much gold to talk about related to the Beastie Boys. Yeah. We could do a whole episode on them and the impact they had on my life as well. I mean, man, they were genre busting and bending. And that was pretty freaking cool to I think I was in third grade when my buddy's brother bought the first tape license to Ill. Ryan Gregg. I heard his brother brought home the License to Ill tape. And Ryan Gregg's parents won a trip. Dude, this is hilarious. Ryan Gregg's parents won a trip overseas somewhere through Pepsi or Coke, one of the two. They literally give away things with those little codes inside bottles. And they won a trip. And his brother was 7 years older than us. And he threw a big ass party playing that tape the whole time, just over and over again. And literally the house looked like the video. It was hilarious. The Gregg brothers were dead meat when their parents came back from overseas. That was a pretty solid story. So
nice.
Back to agency. I kept talking when you got disconnected, but what I shared with the audience was the fact that I felt like somebody like me who could, above average intelligence, could fool myself into thinking I'm being more productive when I'm actually being more lazy, and I lose the agency of myself. I lose my original thought process. I lose a lot by leaning on a tool, much like anything else. If we don't exercise muscles, we'll lose that. We'll lose it, right? And I'm afraid that if I don't exercise my mental muscles and I lean too much on AI for original thought, that I could easily lose that. So, and I don't know. What do you think?
Rick
you
Rubin
lean on tools and you don't use original thought, you atrophy, right?
Yeah. I believe Rick Rubin, Beastie Boy producer, wrote the book on creativity. What's it called?
So good.
The creative art, the creative
acts.
The creative act.
Creative acts, yeah.
There's a story in there.
Great book.
Beautiful story that I think really speaks into what you just said. It's the story of a man who would go gather water at a well every day. And he had a clay bucket and a rope. And so the clay bucket wouldn't break. He'd have to lean in and really get the rope down the center, really being mindful about, making it all the way to the bottom, and then bringing the water up, making sure the bucket didn't hit the side, and he would bring it up. And there was this guy watching him. He's like, "Old man, I can teach you how to build a pulley. You just install it over the well. You just come, lower it, and bring it up, and you'll have water in 5 seconds." He's like, but my water wouldn't taste the same.
Right.
So
yeah.
the whole thing was the creative act. I could write the caption for you, but my caption just wouldn't taste the same.
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
I'm done, man. Use technology to operate on me if you want, but I told somebody the other day, I'm not downloading any other app. Don't give me another app to download. I'm not doing it. Don't tell me to download something else. I'm not doing it.
What if I want you to download Duolingo?
Nah. I'd rather go hire a teacher.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always been resistant to everything, though, like The Matrix, and I read The Catcher in the Rye in 1984, and all these books against the system and the machine and the doors of perception. I've always been the guy trying to go against the system. Doesn't always work out for me, but to a certain extent, I've been pretty.
You can be a rebel,
dude. I've been pretty successful.
You're still alive. You're still in the game.
I'm doing it my way. I'd never used, and I don't know how to use an Excel spreadsheet. And everybody told me that if I didn't know, I've been given things like you got to separate your personal finances from your business. I never did that. I don't care. I was told to learn to do Excel. No. I don't know what an Excel, dude, I couldn't use an Excel spreadsheet for the life of me. All I can do is write
trust me,
names and put numbers in the, you know what I mean? It's like a checklist. I make checklists on Excel spreadsheets.
I know. I've seen it. It's endearing. It's endearing.
I hate LinkedIn. I go there and I just provoke people. I love going to LinkedIn.
I hate social media. Maybe we shouldn't be sitting in front of computers all the time.
No, I guess that's
if we have some.
I know that I'm best when I'm free. I know that I'm me
right
when I'm free, when I'm in the volcano, when I'm in the ocean, when I'm in the gym without anything, when I'm out and about, when I'm having conversations with people, when I'm technology free, I'm a free monkey, man. I'm a free freaking monkey. And that's what I meant. And every time that I'm not, I'm caged. So I'm choosing to free myself more and more and more and more. I love a friend of mine used the quote, "Do not cage your inner monkey." He's a surfer buddy of mine. He was coaching me out in the water, and he was seeing that I was being too scared. He said, "You got to get angry, Bolaños. If you want to catch that wave, you got to get angry, man. Don't cage your inner monkey."
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I want to unleash it.
I think that there's going to be, you might be the extreme, which is, hey, I'm going to take as much care as possible to not incorporate this into my life. The average person, somebody who's not a coach, who has access to volcanoes and things like that, is, let's just say the Americans. Let's just look at that contrast like we talked about a couple weeks ago. the hard driving, I'm always dialed in, Americans, I don't think it's as easy to opt out. I don't think it's that easy. As easy.
Wow.
It's not easy for anybody to opt out. And so it's going to be like creating deliberate practices where even if it's like for an hour. So like I went to yoga with my wife last week. That was awesome. I think this could be something I incorporate into my life. And being device free that period of time, like they had a freaking sign on the door that says no phones. I'm like, this is beautiful. It's a place for an hour.
Yeah. And
where I can be just me and focus and be present. Wow, what a gift.
And that's what it's going to be about, giving us that gift of disconnection. Moments, strong moments. I mean, I'm not against technology. I mean, I like getting paid. I like working remote. But I'm there. I'm like, no more.
At the cusp of tech being part of your,
And if I can,
it's much like
more. If I can go lower, I'll go lower.
Yeah. So it kind of reminds me. I tend to think that you and I tend to be similar in this regard. Whereas I have historically always been a technologist. I do like technology. I've grown up with it, but I also hit a point of I don't feel like I need a smart refrigerator. I don't feel like I want a smart refrigerator. I feel like if you force a smart refrigerator on me, it's just never going to go online, right? I don't have a smart doorbell. I don't have a smart thermostat. There's a lot of dumb stuff in our lives. As a matter of fact, here in the office, we have an Amazon microwave. It was cheap. It was like a $30 microwave when we built our office 5 years ago. It has Alexa on it. I've intentionally never figured out how to hook that up. I'm like, I don't need a smart microwave. I prefer a dumb microwave.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be things where even you'll have that choice. You're like, well, this microwave has AI in it. It's like the big buzzword. My dad has an AI bird feeder. A bird feeder. And it's actually really cool. It'll tell you the type of bird that it is while also showing the video of the bird eating.
That's cute.
If that's not proof that it is cute, but it's also proof that it's making its way into everything. And then you have the option as to whether or not to log on to the Matrix or not. You have that option. Nobody's going to force you to put a device online. You can buy it. If we come to a point where all there is smart devices, and we're getting close to that, nobody's going to force you to plug it into the source, the internet, connectivity. Yeah. So that's like one of the tools I think that we all have. Nobody forces you to hit the little button that generates fill in the blank in Canva. All the Microsoft or all the computers that are coming out with running Microsoft soon are going to have AI incorporated into the operating system. Apple's going to do the same. So it's going to be in our operating systems. Yet we've always had Siri. Not always, but we've had Siri a long time. But you're not forced to use Siri. Matter of fact, Siri is pretty unintelligent right now. And so I think it's going to come up to the choice of humans as to how they want to adopt this stuff, or if they want to adopt these things. And then there's always going to be this fringe group that's maybe not over-indexing, but indexing on the opposite side for folks that want a break from these things, like the light phone and all sorts of other variations that are coming out, ways that people can disconnect. And I feel like that, your camp and pretty much my camp as well, is also going to become popular. On people who are like, hey, we've gone too far over here. We need periods where we're not jacked in all the time.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm longing for.
I'm sure we're both completely freaking wrong. I'm sure we're completely wrong, and that's what the beauty of this is.
Of course, man. Two monkeys talking about something we don't know about.
Yeah. That alone, me scratching my armpits and acting like a monkey is enough for you to hop to YouTube. Did you guys know that while you're listening to this on your podcast player, we have a YouTube channel? And Jose and I were talking last night. YouTube is actually where we have the most viewership. It way outweighs, now people aren't watching long form videos, but they're watching our shorts. So if you find yourself walking, listening, and want to bounce over to YouTube and check us out, we sure as heck would appreciate it. I don't feel like there's anything else we need to talk about. We absolutely reserve the right to revisit this subject as things continue to accelerate or not. But our promise to you, the listeners, is that we're always going to have things of value for you. So while this conversation may have been all over the place, it is two dudes' takes on AI. And if it has you feeling unsettled, we're going to ask you to go over to VUCAFit.com and download Jose's PDF on 5 ways you can become unbreakable. It's beautifully designed. It's got tools that will help you with your anxiety, your uncertainty, and anything else that we may have ramped up as a result of these conversations. But we appreciate you coming along for the ride. We really do. It's fun. We love being able to talk about this stuff, even if sometimes we don't love the subject matter and where things are headed. So till next week, I'm your host, KO. I got JB here. We are the two dudes trying to fill the hole in your soul with some good stuff. Peace. Be well.